welcome to Wolf Farms. I'm Dawn, also known as Knittin' Wolf.
And I'm James, also known as Wolf Photo. This podcast is brought to you by Wolf Farms. You can find us on the internet at wolffarms.net. We have a scent of the month every month. You get 25% off. And for the month of March, it is Cherry Almond. So you get 25% off everything in our shop scented in that fragrance. Plus we have other sale items as well. With springtime here and the weather warming up, and get some lip balm. We still have our buy two get one free special in our lip balm area, as well as discounts on other popular things like our other scented lotions and soaps, and I think we have some candles in there as well. So swing on by, check it out. I'm sure you'll find something you'll enjoy. I want to welcome new and returning viewers. Thanks for joining us today. Yeah, it'll probably be a short podcast. Dawn's voice is still, I guess, squeaking. It's kind of dying. She's been sick all week. Yeah, so
Thanks to
I get the blame. I get the blame for that one because I had gotten the cold first. So anyway, so what do we got on the agenda for today?
We have farm happenings, Farmer's Almanac, In the Coop, Flown the Coop, and Roundup.
All right. Well, I guess we'll
farm happenings.
Head on into farm happenings, huh? She says this is gonna be the James show because she can't talk, so I gotta entertain you here. Every late winter, early spring, we get the desert area out here gets blanketed in wildflowers, and it's all dependent on how much rain we get and the temperature and everything. There's a little variety in there, but this last winter we've got quite a bit of rain, so I was hoping for a good turnout. So this last week I headed out to kind of survey the Dundee's playing with his Taz toy. Went out during the week on Monday and went out there to the it's west side of our Antelope Valley there, and to kind of check to see how things are going. And this year, there are wildflowers. It's kind of more sparse than it is on our really good years. Some of the fields that are usually blanketed by poppies are actually blanketed by other types of flowers. They're just not getting our California golden poppies out there. I had to do a little dirt road drive-in to get up into areas where there are bunches of poppies, and to kind of get some photographs out there. And it was actually a good time. I spent several hours, I think, wandering. I had a doctor's appointment I had taken the day off for, and I had to get back by a certain time, and I was like really timing it down to the wire there to make sure I could get out there. But I did travel off in a couple areas and found some really nice areas to photograph. So I was out shooting a lot of pictures, and I could see off in the distance. I'm like, oh, that looks good. So I'm like kind of making my way through dirt roads, trying to get up into the rolling hillside that has just covered with flowers. So it actually was quite enjoyable. Get out there. I posted up a couple of them on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram if you want to see some of my pictures. I'm Wolf Photos. WOLFEPHOTOS on Instagram. So when I'm out shooting, I usually will put stuff up there. Towards the tail end of my outing, I happened upon Mojave green rattlesnake. Those are rattlesnakes that are kind of indigenous to our area, and they are I think the most poisonous rattlesnake that is out there. So I happened upon them. I almost stepped on them. I backed up. Had to get a couple pictures. I let him go on his way. So, it was a smaller one. We actually saw it. When we first moved to our property here, Jimmy found one that was quite large, and I had to take care of that one. We don't rescue those ones. But I do any other type of snake. I'll catch and release in and around our property because they take care of the rodents, and it keeps the balance
And some of them eat the rattlesnakes.
Yeah, the king snakes and stuff. So generally, I'll catch the snakes and I'll release them out because we don't really have. I keep our property around our house cleared, but we got brush and stuff like that, and the critters will live out there if the snakes don't keep them in balance. So I put the snakes out there. But rattlesnakes, different story. If they're here, I don't want them to populate. So. But this particular one, I kind of got some pictures, let them go. Not my area, and I wasn't equipped to deal with anything like that. But fortunately, I saw them because I didn't really need to get a snake bite while I was out there. But no, it was really good. Like I said, the wildflowers are kind of sparse right now. We just got another rain during the week, which may help them, and the weather's kind of on the good mild to warm side. So I think in the next week or two they really should, like, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen now. So but yeah, that was my outing. It was really enjoyable, and I do plan on going out there probably next weekend again just to check on things and get some more pictures done. So we did do have our killdeers back. We mentioned this a year or two ago. I think they come back annually. So I think this is like the third year. We've got a pair of killdeers that lay their eggs around here because we got the water and they got feed and they got all sorts of stuff. They hang out at the lake at the night. We've noticed them come back, so we figured they're laying the eggs. The other day Dawn was out there and the mama bird was over there.
She stood up.
She stood up and showed Dawn the babies, because
bitty.
Yeah. So, but they're growing fast now. So they're now running. She's got 4 babies, and the mom and dad are out there and they protect them. It's really neat the way they do that because they'll be running around. The 4 little birds will kind of stay together. And if they see someone, like if I go out there to take pictures of them, the mom and dad will fly, or one of them will fly away from the birds and then make all sorts of noise to try and distract you to keep them safe, which is really cool. So I went out and took a couple pictures. I don't like to disturb them too much because I don't want to invade their space. I want to let them do what they're going to do. But they've got 4 little ones running around. They're in their front yard now, and they'll end up in the back. And at nighttime, they hang out at the water. More so when we put the other birds away, when we put the geese and the ducks and stuff that are usually in the lake, they're kind of territorial. They don't like strange birds in their water. So when we put them away, then the killdeers come up and enjoy the lake. They come up during the day, but not too often. But in the evening time, they're out there. So it's kind of neat to see the killdeers back and the babies and stuff, because it's kind of funny that the mom stood up to show you the babies and stuff, because they're right.
She lets me get like within a foot.
Yeah. Which is, it's because they laid the eggs and have their nest out by where we turned the on-off water to fill up our lake. We have to turn that on every couple of days just to keep the level up. But it's just showing off for babies. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Those are neat birds. They have the neat little trill.
Yeah, you definitely know it's them.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was the killdeers.
Just keep talking.
Okay, I'll keep going. And then this weekend, because of the rain and all of that, our weeds are, same time of year, always happens. Our open areas that we don't have any grass or anything planted tend to get all weedy. So I was out this weekend tractoring, disking up the open areas, trying to knock down the weeds. That way we can see the dogs, because it was getting to the point where we couldn't see Sadie when she was out in the field. So now she's short. She's like, we don't play Frisbee on podcast day, Dundee. He still wants to play. But what was I saying? Oh, the tractoring. And so, yeah, so I had to go out and get the tractor out and knock down, disc up all the weeds and stuff. And so I got the front half of the property done. I got to go and do the back probably next weekend. So, and weather's still good. It's all good. It's all good. So you ready to talk about Dundee Friday. And Fuji?
Yeah. So Friday, Fuji had her chemo appointment, and she'd had kind of a semi-rough week with this last chemo, so she backed up the dosage a little bit for Friday and switched one of them because she's actually getting a couple chemos all at one time. So, and she's doing good. So this one hasn't yet affected her like this past week. So
yeah, she's acting more like she does after a round of chemo. She's actually quite playful and feeling pretty good. You can tell. So, which is good. I mean, like I said, I think the change up, and I think she backed down the dose a bit just because Fuji was having such a rough time. So,
because that's her main thing, is for them to feel good the whole time. So
yeah. And then we had what's going to follow up with this is a round of 2 weeks worth of pills that Fuji's going to get, and that was kind of a battle with dealing with the pharmacy trying to get the pills that Fuji's supposed to have. I mean, it took a while, but we got them. But she doesn't start those till next week.
I don't remember.
She starts a Friday.
She's not on a protocol right now. It's all tailored to Fuji.
No. So no, she starts the pills on next Friday, and then she'll go through for 2 weeks of getting those every day, and then she'll get a week off, and then kind of back to. Or actually, no, we're going to go at the last day that she gets the pill and get a checkup. So she's hanging in there, still fighting.
Yep.
Fighting, being strong.
But we did take Dundee with us on this trip. It was a family trip.
Yeah, it was. Farmer Jim got to go with us to help contain Dundee in the back seat while Fuji's up in Don's
Dundee
lap.
did super.
Yeah,
he sat in his seat. And
he acted like a human, sat in the seat. He was actually really good. It's about an hour and 20-minute drive each way, and getting him in the car, and he actually settled in and was fine the whole drive. And
but we had taken him because he's been having back leg issue, and our local vet had done X-rays, blood work, yada yada yada, and said he was fine, but he was still having these like a cramp where his whole back leg seizes up and he cries and he's in pain until I massage it for about 5 minutes to 20 minutes, depending on the severity of it each time. And so we had mentioned this to the oncologist, and she said, "Hey, bring him next time."
Well, she said, "Shoot a video and send me the video." So when it happened, I think
as soon as we got home.
Yeah, he had an issue, so Dawn videoed it, sent it over, and she showed it to some of the surgeons over there, and they said, "No, that looks, probably need to bring it in and have it checked." So.
They're immediately saying luxating patella, which that's what I had mentioned to our local vet.
And that's where the kneecap pops out of the groove on the knee, because the groove in the knee is not deep enough, and so it'll pop out, and so that's what a luxating patella is. And they said that's the way it looks, and our local vet said no, he tested and couldn't get it to work, get it to happen, so he didn't think that was it. So we packed all the kitties up and went down on Friday, and the main head guy that owns the vet center there came in and did a whole run through on both legs and hips and all of that, and basically said, "No, I've got the kneecap in my hand right now. It's popping out." So that's the issue. So it is a luxating patella, but he says because he's 11 months, there's nothing you really want to do until he's fully stopped growing, which is at 1.5 years to maybe 2 years. So he said if it's not that severe and it's something that's infrequent, you don't really need to have the surgery. You just, if it happens again, he showed us or told us how to actually get it popped back in. He says if it becomes a routine thing or is causing issues, then you can go through and have the surgery, but
not until his growth plates.
There's nothing we really can do for at least 7 months at the earliest, and maybe as long as 13 months, somewhere between the 1.5 to 2 year mark. And he could actually strengthen up his leg where it doesn't become an issue, because he doesn't have it that frequent. He goes through spurts where, he'll have it for a couple days, and then he hasn't had one.
He hasn't had it since I videoed it.
He just wanted to be on camera, that's all.
Yeah.
So you can tell that he's aware of it because he looks at his leg, but so there's, like I said, we at least know what it is. I didn't want to go through and have any procedures done, especially when our local vet saying, no, that's not what it is.
Yeah, and he said he had sent the x-rays to a specialist, and I'm getting the knee nudge. Well, it just bites my butt.
I got that, but that's talk to that with
Oh, I planned on talking.
I know. That's a vet thing. So we just, it should have been diagnosed from what they did if they had done everything right. So
Yeah, the x-rays were not even done right.
okay, very good. Dawn's gonna redhead them when she goes in next time.
Yes, that's...
I know. It's okay. So anyways, but at least we know what it is, because I didn't want to, go through and put Dundee through any procedures that he didn't need until we were certain about actually the cause. I mean, it doesn't make sense, especially because they told us no, it wasn't that, and he continued having it. So it has to be something. It's not like...
Well, and we didn't want something damaging something else without knowing, so...
So, and the vet says, let him be a dog. You don't keep him contained. That's not fair to him. If, like I said, if it happens, this is what you do. But, you can let him run around. You can let him play. If it happens, it happens. And go ahead and, you can help him fix it by, pulling and pushing, actually working the leg back and forth. The kneecap will pop in. He said it pops into the inside, so if you give a little pressure to push it out, it'll help it go back into place. And as soon as it does, I mean, even before we knew, the proper way to get it to go back in, as soon as it was back in, he was fine. He's like, oh, and back to normal dog. So at least we know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that wraps up our farm happenings. And on to you.
Farmer's Almanac question from BACHAN, Susan. She would like to know, where's the best place you like to do your crafts? And could you show us what room it is? Well, let's see. I think my most favorite would be the family room. I have my spot on the couch, and I have a lamp and a little table and
lamp and an ottoman full of all your project
bags, and
within view of the TV, and it's a recliner, so you get to relax in there. And then Fuji gets to sit right next to you on the little
in her spot. So I think that's my favorite. Although I do come right here a lot.
You do your spinning in the front room, because that's where your spinning wheel is, and then you do knitting in the laundry room. Yeah. That's a standing only, but it's where your yarn stash is, and you usually do that while you're knitting, or while you're doing laundry and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
While I'm waiting to switch it, and then that will usually follow me out to the kitchen. So if I'm cooking something and I got a couple minutes to throw in a few stitches, and it's generally while I'm standing.
Yeah.
But
and you always have a small project with you in your purse, just in case you get stranded somewhere. Huh?
Yeah, that's definite. Because it never fills. You're somewhere having to wait.
And when I do my knitting, it's always on the couch.
Yeah.
My spot, my comfy spot that I can get distracted by the TV. I can't knit and watch TV. I can't do that. So I have to either be focused on the knitting or focus on the TV. So if it's a boring show, I get more knitting done when I'm knitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, my crafts, my other stuff is my woodworking, which is all out in the garage. So when I roll the equipment out, start whittling away, that's all done outside. So.
Or your photography, that's
wherever
travel.
That's it. That's in my vehicle, wherever it takes me.
Yeah.
All right.
So in the coop, let's see.
Now you got a lot of finished full in the coop.
So in the coop is whacked me in the eye. I'm sorry, I'm waking you up. So in the Coop I bought a pattern this week. It's called Layer Cake by Tyga Hillard Designs, or Ortega. That's some salsa. And it is the layer cake, and it's a baby sweater, or it's 0 to...
No, I was going to say you had
Yeah.
0 to 4T, right?
Oops. Yeah, that's right. Okay, now where'd the picture go in? Oh, crap. Technical
I don't know
difficulties.
how you managed that one.
I was pretty talented, though. Okay, here, just look at the pattern really quick. So it's the layer cake, and it is a paid-for pattern, and it is such a fun pattern. It's in my Stitched by Sasha Fuji bag, and this is diabolical.com, in her strong arm skinny 2-ply sock, in the flamingos on a croquet lawn. And that's the tag. Fish. Almost. Balancing you here. And doing this on size 7 needles. And I'm doing the 0 to 3 months. And here's the top. And a little lace that I've already separated for the sleeves. So I feel her sliding down my leg. So it's really cute. The back has, and it'll have like 4 little buttons. That's the back. So, and yeah, I'm using, it's a worsted weight, so I'm using fingering weight. I know, honey. Fingering weight held double, because I just always love that, the squish of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Is that the same yard you've just made 2 balls out of?
I just am pulling from the outside, and I have it in a cake, and so I'm pulling from the inside and then the outside.
I was wondering how you're using both of those. You're just talented.
Yeah. And so yeah. So, and then I'm still spinning the Crown Mountain Farms Enchanted Waters, and I'm on my last 4 ounces, so this is what it looks like, except the wrist, it's on my wheel. And then in my Kitty Van Cat bag is my preemie hat balls, and this fits perfect in my purse, or it travels from yarn from room to room. So yeah. So Flo in the Coop is all this I had started and finished after last week's podcast. So this is the layer cake pattern. Like I just showed you, I'm knitting another one because it is such a fun pattern. I'm in love with it. And so here's this one that I did this week. You can see the lace detail on the bottom. And it's also, on the back. And this is so cute because it can grow with them. It can fit as a baby and then as they're getting a little bit bigger. And this was done with, I have no idea.
I don't remember what you were using on that first
I
one.
put it away. Let me think. It was a Wool Girl. It's called Plum Blossom is the colorway. But, Yarn-Teeny. Yarn-Teeny. See, I knew it would come to me.
So you'll have it on your project page.
Yeah, and this is another one that I held the yarn double because it's just so cuddly. So I just love this. It's just adorable.
Well, I know when you're picking out different patterns to do, it's like, okay, which one? And that was the one.
Yeah.
There's a couple of
I
them
had
that
you
you're
choose.
waiting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that one I thought was the best out of the ones you're looking at. And
Yeah.
at least you're enjoying it.
Yeah, you're lucky, huh?
Mm-hmm. Otherwise I get the
I'd be
blame.
blaming it. So then I've done a few preemie hats.
A few.
A dozen. And literally, there's a dozen here. And I did, there's 3, it's feeling her butt slide off of me, 3 little plain blue ones. Mm-hmm. And then where I ran out, of the blue. I added a little bit of variegated, and then here's 2 little variegated ones. And I'm just having so much fun with these.
Well, because they're crochet, so you can
they
get those knocked
quick.
out pretty quick.
So these are all the same, because I got quite a bit of this. And it's perfect to use up,
remnants.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Awesome.
So these are for the Remembering Remy knit along.
Yeah, we're gonna have a big box to send over when we get all done.
And that's with Moms with Yarn podcast with Bronx Knitter and T.B. McCarthy. So,
awesome.
Tracy and Sharon.
You can tell Dawn's been sitting on the couch resting because she's been sick.
Mm-hmm.
Got a whole bunch of finished objects.
Yeah.
Start and finish, and then a whole half other sweater.
I just need.
Of course, you're enjoying it. I could tell when you enjoy your projects because you knit on them a lot. Mm-hmm. You can tell when you're struggling with one, especially when you have to back it out or the pattern doesn't make sense, that it tends to go slower. But yeah, I know you're really enjoying that. So.
Yeah, and I already have yarn picked out for another one because it's like, oh, I got the perfect buttons for that, And I already have the buttons for this pink one. They should be in here. The little pink buttons. Philippa sent me. So it's like matched it just perfectly. So that was fun.
Awesome. So is that it? Mm-hmm. All done? Let you go back to resting.
Yeah. So round up, we have our Hatch a Knit every month in the Wolf Farms group on Ravelry, and that's where you can enter any project that you knit, crochet, spin, weave. So just enter it in.
Anything that's finished.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter when you started it, but if you finish it during the month, just snap a picture, put it up there, and you could win yourself
a Wolf Farm gift certificate or some stitch markers that Philippa has donated to the podcast. And here's this month's prize. So will that be next weekend? Is that
we still got
one more.
Another 2 weeks.
Okay.
Well, prizes will go away.
Yeah.
Go away. Get given away.
Going away.
They'll go away to the winners. So, all right. Want to remind you that you can get a free Wolf Farm video podcast button with any paid order at Wolf Farms. Just ask for that in the comment section when you're checking out. We'll be happy to stick one of those in your order as it's heading out to the mailbox, so you can decorate your button monster, your knitting bag, or anything you want. And I think that about does it for this podcast. Short and sweet.
Until next time.
Let's get cracking. Hatch a Knit. Bye, y'all.